Peace, peace. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep. Power to the people. Salam Allah to the true and livings. Peace to the gods and earths. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Minister Alif. And today we're going to, I just got it a few minutes ago, but ultimately we'll do a book review on the book of Khalid by Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz, Esquire, attorney. Forward by Farrakhan Gray, Dr. Khalid's son. And this is the tone. You know what I mean? I like that. I'm not exactly sure who's the actual owners of the Shabazz Publishing and Media Company. You know what I mean? But we'll give them a shout out. You know what I mean? I love that logo. You know what I mean? You know, get that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding out there. And we're going to talk about a true and living God, Dr. Khallid Abdul Muhammad. You know what I mean? Fiery spirit, you know what I mean? Raw fruit, raw street dude, raw panther, you know what I mean? Liberator of the world, you know. Sad that we keep losing all our heroes and sheroes in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to read this yet, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with y'all a photo in here and then put it in context. I got a picture of let me see, I got a picture of Dr. Khallid over there. Got a picture of Dr. Khallid over there. I mean, you know, next to Mumia Abu Jamal, you know, so you know, I always had love in my heart for Dr. Khallid ever since I learned about him through the Final Call newspaper. I believe it was like around the 1980s, somewhere around there. You know what I mean? And I think it was about Minister Harold X out. I think it was Temple Mosque number 27 out Los Angeles, California, somewhere. But the main thing that I remember, I was like, who this? Oh, this. Listen. Time I was in the belly of the beast, and I just remember the fruit getting money out there and building the Nation Islam's biggest mosque. This thing was beautiful, and they had the white uniforms on, but the main thing that caught my attention, they had the swords, and they had these boots and helmet. Oh, these bros were super sharp. This is when, before the new Black Panther Party, Dr. Khallid had always been super militant. You know what I mean? You know, so I remember seeing him at Savers Days with the Honorable Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan. He'd be on stage with the binoculars. You know what I mean? He just was that type of alpha male. You know what I mean? You know, just you know, I know me and everybody I knew in the belly of the beast, we just love Dr. Khallid Abdul Muhammad. You know what I mean? I personally never physically got to meet him because I was in the belly of the beast, but I was blessed to correspond with the brother. You know what I mean? The brother, I basically met him through my old cellie, Brother Minister Luqman Allah. You know what I mean? And basically, back in like the 80s, we had a little situation. I ain't getting into too many details, but I had little situations where the first time I ever seen Luqman, at that time, Luqman was an Orthodox Muslim at first. So he was basically on the gate, and me and another FOI brother, Hakeem, brother Daryl X Williams, Daryl 2X Williams, we was coming from a little visit, and it was a little assassination attempt on both of us, but we handcuffed at the time, but we young boys, we trained. So the 85 mentally deads that got the knives, we whipped that behind. I mean, and you know, we had little scratches. We ain't get poked or stabbed or nothing, but they had broken bones and was unconscious. I mean, it's just the devils came and saved their life. You know what I mean? But that was the first time I seen Brother Minister Luqman. You know what I mean? So they, you know, at that time, because of that, I was in the hole for like 2 years. Finally got out and I wound up on a block with the guard. You know what I mean? And at that time, he wasn't no longer an Orthodox Muslim. At that time, everybody basically with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Imam Worthy Muhammad, Vince Farrakhan, just trying to get the Nation of Islam back off the ground in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? And we started busting it up, just got real close. I just dug Luke Mine's spirit. You know what I mean? Real intelligent brother, dedicated to our people. You know what I mean? So he wound up moving in the hut. So real funny brother, good brother, you know what I mean? Real intelligent, vicious organizer. So, you know, he explained to, he said, "Oh no, I'm not with the spooky stuff no more. I'm with the Black Panthers. This not the new Black, this the original Black. He was a Black Panther. So he had the Black Panther literature and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, listen. We all Panthers by nature, you know what I mean? So, you know, long story short, he falls in, joins the Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? Rising the ranks quickly, you know what I mean? Always been super smart, super sharp, you know what I mean? Real disciplined, focused, intelligent brother, you know what I mean? So he's definitely an asset to the Nation of Islam, you know what I mean? So we organized, and so we're like, oh, look, we got these different newsletters we used to do back in the day. So what I was like, listen, being as though you got all this Black Panther information, we're going to incorporate some street stuff for the young boys. So we put the Black Panther, we made a column, we gave a separate section in the newsletter for different stuff. Like we'll have the Nation of Islam, the raw teachers of the messenger, stuff for the people with the Bible, people that's into the Quran, 5% lessons, Afrocentric, nutrition, health, economics, you know what I mean, politics, law, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever the people needed, we just was educating and giving knowledge of self, if you will. You know what I mean? So he used to write some vicious crack articles. I still got a lot of them articles somewhere in them files. You know, one day, inshallah, Sakeen, I'll be able to pull them out. You know what I mean? But in the book of Khalid, I see they do have a picture of Brother Minister Luke Mine in here, walking next to Dr. Khallid. I don't know if y'all can see this picture. It's not that clear. It's black and white. You know, we don't have the money like them devils to publish stuff. But what is that? Right here. I believe it's Brother Minister Luke Mine right here, next to Dr. Khallid Muhammad, another brother. I don't know who the other brother is. Long story short, from Holmesburg, they sent me to the Greatest Ford. Greatest Ford couldn't handle me. They kicked me out Greatest Ford for teaching the message of teachers. Send me up the mountains in Rockview. They can't handle it. I'm still teaching too raw, too black, too strong. They kicked me out Rockview. Send me back to Greatest Ford. Greatest Ford, why y'all send this fool back here? We teaching the teachers raw, getting money down there. They kicked me out of Greatest Ford. Again, sends me up to the hillbilly Ku Klux Klan turf to the Huntington. I get up Huntington, they give me the riot act. I'm like, man, the black man God, white man the devil. We still doing our thing. They kicked me out of Huntington, said, we got something for you. They built the Supermax, sent him to the Supermax. I go to the Supermax, and this is like 1996, I believe. And while I'm in the Supermax, you know, the devil, it's a real racist devil up there. Michael Machino, Sergeant Grainer. These names may sound familiar to you because these are the Sergeant Grainer, his girlfriend, and all of them. These is the devils that was over in Iraq torturing the Muslims over in Iraq. They the ones that was on the front page of the New York Times and Times Magazine, Newsweek, USA Today, electrocuting people. That's the stuff they was doing to black men in the Supermax. Now, I mean, until they met the Supreme Angels and we start, you know what I mean? You know, we used to go in their face. You know what I mean? See, a lot of people talk the talk, we was walking the walk. You know what I mean? It was blood, sweat, and tears, literally. You know what I mean? So, long story short, they put me in a hole for Machino, you know what I mean? And he basically come with his technology saying to me and some other FOIs tried to organize this massive escape. They found all these knives and said the guards had poison inside the coffee pot and we was going to knock the guards out. And, you know what I mean? They just is just tripping. But long story short, I'm in the hole for this. Temp murder on Machino, the whole nine. So Luke Mine is writing me. So he makes parole. He's out in the street, but he's with Dr. Khallid. So he like, listen, Dr. Khallid love your literature, this, that, and the other, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what, Dr. Khallid? So, you know, I write him back, yo, tell him I said, salam alaikum, you know what I mean? Woo, you know what I mean? And to my blessing, the brother wrote me, you know what I mean? And I never forget, he mentioned in the letter, he said, brother, see, back then we had the messenger's original name. Before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was known as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Muhammad named him personally back in the 30s, K.A.M. Abdul Muhammad. K.A.M. You know what I mean? So my first business was called K.A.M. Abdul Muhammad Incorporated back in like 1984 sometime. I mean, it published my first book back then. And Dr. Khallid pointed out to me, he's like, brother, you're Khallid Alif Muhammad. I'm K.A.M. too. I'm Khallid Abdul Muhammad. I mean, you know, so he hit a little witty joint, real wise brother. You know what I mean? So, you know, things going, you know, I'm just admiring really brother Minister Luke Mine and him pushing the teachings. Of course, COINTELPRO trying to, you know, divide and conquer, disrupt, break the ranks. See, people don't understand that's always in it. You know what I mean? You know, but they Dr. Khallid sent me a cracked little calendar. In fact, Luke Mine sent the calendar. And when I'm looking at the calendar, I'm like, because at the time, they don't know I'm in a hole. And this devil Machino, the security captain in the Supermax, is like, he trying to get me killed, get me indicted, the whole joint. So I'm like, damn. So he reads and sees the photos and the letters. So he like confiscating stuff. I mean, and it's just crazy. So I'm like getting with them, like, listen, man, y'all got to be careful out there with these hammers and stuff. Now, I mean, I understand you building a house, you're going to need hammers and nails or whatever, but at the same time, you got to understand, just as the devil infiltrated the old Black Panthers, they infiltrating the new Black Panthers. So they going to try to divide that and shut that down immediately. You know what I mean? And, you know, it was a thing where I did just get to read in here, because I was curious. It was a whole bunch of, you know, COINTELPRO always do the propaganda, the divide and conquer. So it was I was getting a lot of reports from different sources, you know what I mean? But it was like, you got to let it go in one ear, out the other, you know what I mean? Don't let them break the ranks, you know what I mean? But the, you know, brother Minister Malik Zulu Shabazz, what I kept meaning to order this book. I got this from, I think I ordered this off Amazon for like $40. I got this from off Amazon, yeah, for like $40. Came real fast. I think it came in like 1 or 2 days or something. But what made me order the book, I was just, you know, I'm always looking for conscious videos, you know what I mean, online. So I'm checking out YouTube, you know what I mean? And I see how COINTELPRO coming at like Sinetta, Zaza, Professor Griff, Polite, Dr. Ali, Minister Inky, all Young Fair, all the brothers and sisters that I used to see back like almost 10 years ago that was like sparking the consciousness of YouTube. They divide and conquer everything. So, you know what I mean? And in the future, Black people gonna realize, oh, this was all a intentional plot to stop us from waking up. We just keep going for the okie doke. Yaqub's law, divide and conquer, that the messenger warned us about. We just keep letting these devils divide and conquer the original people. Our ranks, your ranks, other ranks. It's sad, but you gotta just keep pushing. You gotta keep active in the struggle. You know what I mean? Our life, our death, and our sacrifice is all for Allah, not a spook. Our people, they are Allah. You know what I mean? But you know, I came across the brother, I forgot the brother's name. I like him because he's like, he teach real good, but he's comical, he's entertaining. You know what I mean? He be dropping jewels, but he know how to do it in a way where it's not just religious dogma, if you will. Now, I mean, you know that it's Moore's World TV. So he did an interview with Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz, but I just happened to see it a couple of days ago. That's why I just ordered the book, and it was a real, on his part, you know, he jokes a lot, but he got serious, and he was like a professional journalist on this joint. He got with Malik Zulu and was asking some real thought-provoking questions and doing a real good analysis on the Nation of Islam. Like anything, I didn't agree with everything in there, you know what I mean, but I really appreciate what the contribution he made, and I definitely appreciated hearing from brother attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, who's the author of the book of Khalid. Now it was like had me confused on certain stuff. Like one thing that really it was two things that he said that really had me like, One, he never was actually in the Nation of Islam, but I like seeing pictures with him suited and booted, Nation of Islam pin on his lapel with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, with Dr. Khallid. So I'm like, okay. And he explained it like he was in the nation, but he was a college student activist, so he didn't want to like get caught up in the rituals and the boundaries set when you formally in the ranks. So I definitely get that because I experienced that myself. So sometimes you gotta like move in a way that you can be an asset. A lot of people don't realize that there's people that love the nation, support the nation, live, build, kill, and die for the nation, but they're not formally registered with this minister or that minister or what have you. Now, I mean, you know, where my thing over the years, I just never liked the divisions of being an F or Y. I didn't want to have to be like, if I'm with, because I come from North Philadelphia, so my minister is really Minister Jeremiah Shabazz. So it's like, if you're with Jeremiah, you're a hypocrite because you're not registered with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. If you with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, you're not with the Honorable Salas Muhammad. You're not a 5%er. You know, I'm like, yo, I'm 5%. I'm more. I'm Pan-African. I'm a soldier. I mean, I'm, you know, like, why can't I be me? I mean, you know, I mean, that's who the original man is. I mean, all things, all things. I mean, part and parcel, everything. I mean, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's us. I mean, so I never got caught up in that. So I just was moving in a way to bring about unity. I mean, you know, wherever I went at, you know, anybody tell you, for 40 years I've been doing this. For 40 years, they be like, yeah, he brought together the Panthers, 5%ers, Pan-Africans, revolutionaries, the hustlers, the Silas Fruit, Farrakhan Fruit, Jeremiah Fruit, Minister Avery, John Muhammad, Solomon. If you was black, I'm with that. Now, I mean, my thing is like, you take the best parts, we come together, we have we got similar burdens, we just got to get like minds. And, you know, we may not agree with everything, but as Dr. Martin King wisely put it, we can disagree without being disagreeable. You know what I mean? So we always had the peace, the love, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the unity, and we put the fear of God in those devils. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to give y'all a little brief peep of the new book. It's just breezing through it. I've read the part in here because I was curious about something, because somebody had told me something, so I was real curious about how the beloved mentor actually physically died, and what's written and what's not written. It kind of makes sense to me now. Like, okay, I mean, you know, but the beauty of it is you cannot kill the revolution. I mean, you know, you can kill a revolutionary, but Dr. Khallid is alive, and you, me, the youth, the elders, the sisters, even white folks. This man made the impact on the world. Know what I mean? And I'm sure he sparked something positive and good and necessary, and everyone that came across him. You know what I mean? You know, so oh, the other thing I was telling you about, the two things. One was that Malik Shabazz wasn't formally in the nation. The other thing was, and it was basically, the brother was asking about Master Fard Muhammad, and he, you know, he had to think about it, and he basically admitted, from him being basically, I would say, mentored by Dr. Khallid Abdul Muhammad, it makes sense. But he basically explaining that he respects Master Fard Muhammad, but he really don't believe that the law came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. Now, when he said that, I didn't take offense to it. It really wasn't too much of a surprise to me, because at that time, me being in the ministry, anybody know me, I'm extreme Master Fard Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad, Master Fard Muhammad. Know what I mean? But the reason I do that and the reason I'm like that is because I know that there's a lot of misinterpretation, misinformation when it comes to the supreme law of God who came to person Master Fard Muhammad. Now, I mean, long story short, Master Fard Muhammad thing is, he's not trying to get black people to look at and worship no picture. His thing is, Allah is all of us. I mean, you know, that's in fact. I got the book right here. This is what the Lamb is working with, and this is why I love Dr. Khallid. Let me see something. Yeah. This chapter 10. I want to teach you, page number 26. This is Dr. Khallid Muhammad's last book right here. And he said, yesterday you could not find me. I was so wrapped in the mist that people were trampling on me and they didn't know I was down there in the mud. All praise is due to Allah. Allah is all of us. Remember that. He goes on to say, every righteous person is a God. We are all God. When we say Allah, we mean every righteous person. He said, there are so many of us who are ready to argue and dispute about the God. If you don't believe that he is a man, then bring me the one that you represent. You say, I don't believe in God being a man. What do you believe in? Show me what you believe in. I can show you my God. Show me yours. So basically, the Khallid Muhammad thing is, like he said in his last Savior's Day, 1974, February 26th, every time you look at the black man, you're looking at God. I mean, you know, it's like our concept of that mystery God, of that spook and spirit form of God, is what makes us like, well, why can't man do magic like this mystery God? Because we're men, we're women, we're human beings. I mean, on earth, I mean, there's nothing supernatural. I mean, everything is natural. Everything is cause and effect, actions and reactions. Everything in the universe is based on mathematics, reality, al-haq. Now, I mean, so, you know, it's like, you know, Dr. Khallid was a real practical example and teacher, and his thing was like, he's not focusing on Master Muhammad coming back to save us and the mother plane coming back. Not that he don't believe that. Dr. Khallid believed in Master Muhammad the messenger. He believed in the mother plane and all that kind of stuff too. But he also understood the black man was God. He knew his role in the universal scheme of things. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to take a moment and just give my heartfelt thanks to our beloved brother, Dr. Khallid. Deeply miss you, brother. But the beauty of it is you're only a thought away. The struggle continues. Remember, only the messenger's message will guide you through this age of mess. Peace, family.